Hello guys, welcome back to CarTalk Sri Lanka. So this is the car we are going to review today. It's a 2012 Audi A4 and we will review this, and at the end of the review you'll be able to find out whether it could be a good drive to you. I'm Buddhimashan and this is CarTalk Sri Lanka. So let's start our review with our driving test, starting off in town. So the first thing you notice is you get a good visibility from the front. There's a little bit of blind spot from effortless, but again that's normal in all cars. And even the rear visibility is very good. Suspension of the car. Well, when you are going over a rough surface you can feel potholes and bumps up to some level, but it's not terrible by any means. And let's see whether it pays off when it comes to the handling department when we drive this car on a twisty road later in the review. Transmission. Well, it's an automatic, an 8-speed automatic, and you don't feel gear changes unless you floor it, so it's really smooth and you don't have to bother changing gears manually in town, so it's really easy to drive. Brake feeling. Well, we get 2 disc brakes in the front, 2 in the rear, and they have a good stopping power. I have no complaints about that. So now let's check the turning radius of this car. So it's 5.7 meters. So let's see whether it is difficult to make a U-turn. So it's not as difficult as I thought. So this is how the front of the car looks like, and it looks absolutely beautiful in my opinion, especially with this color and with all the black accents you get in the headlamp and in the Audi grille. And this car is also fitted with this body kit which further improves the looks of the car. Let's start with headlamps. So these are the headlamps you get, and you know the moment you see them it's an Audi, right? So we do get our daytime running lights here and the indicators here, and we also get headlamp washers here, and we also get LED fog lights, which is cool. And now let's talk about our iconic Audi grille. So that kind of improves the overall looks of the car. It brings an upmarket look and it also gives you business vibes. And yeah, from the front it looks absolutely beautiful. So now let's talk about the engine. So what we get here is a 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel engine which makes about 143 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque. And all that power is delivered via an 8-speed automatic transmission to front wheels. And this car weighs about 1,535 kilos, and it is capable of achieving 0 to 100 kilometers per hour within 9.5 seconds. But for our review, let's just quickly go and see how fast it can reach from 0 to 60 kilometers per hour to get an idea about the initial acceleration. So now let's see how this car performs in our 0 to 60 test, so that we can get an idea about the initial acceleration. So we will have to wait until the road clears a little bit. Okay, now the road is clear. I have put it to sports mode. So 3, 2, 1. $60. How long did it take? 6.1 seconds. But I think we could have done better if I reacted better. And our owner says this car can probably do 0 to 60 under 5 seconds. So yeah, under 5 seconds, but what we got here is 6 seconds, but I think it can do better. So now we are on the side of the car, and this is how the side looks, and it has that typical sedan look. Obviously it's a sedan. So let's start with side mirrors. So unfortunately in this car you don't get auto retractable mirrors, and you also don't get keyless entry, but for some Audis you do get keyless entry and auto retractable mirrors. So when you touch here it locks, and when you put your hand like this it will unlock for you. So now let's move to brake. So in the front we get disc brakes, and even in the rear we get disc brakes as well, and they're really sharp and they have very good stopping power. And the rim size you get here is the 17-inch wheel, which looks attractive. So now let's talk about fuel economy. So as I was explaining, this car has the 2-liter diesel engine and it has a fuel tank capacity of 63 liters. So in town you can get somewhere around 12 to 13 kilometers per liter, and when you go on long distance journeys, that means basically when you drive on highway, you can get somewhere around 18 to 20 kilometers per liter if you drive carefully. So now we are in the back of the car, and of all the angles, this is my favorite angle because the way it curves out here in the back. So let's start with the tail lights as usual, and they are beautiful LED tail lights, and this 2.0 TDI stands for the 2-liter diesel engine, and we also get our A4 badge there, and this is the Audi logo, and we also get parking sensors in this car and the dual exhaust tips on the left hand side. So now let's check the boot capacity. So to open the boot, you can either press the button on the remote or you can open it manually like this. So let's open it. So what we get here is a boot capacity of 490 liters. So that is 10 liters more than what you get from its rivals, the BMW 3 Series and the Mercedes C-Class from the same timeline. But what is even more impressive is that you can further extend that boot capacity by folding down rear seats, and you can extend it up to 960 liters. And we also get a light in the boot, and we also get some under storage capacity with a spare tire. So I have no complaints about the boot capacity whatsoever. So now I'm seated in the rear seats and I get decent level of knee room, reasonable level of headroom, and seats feel comfortable. But there is an issue if you want to carry 3 people at once, because there is a transmission tunnel. So let's see how we can deal with it. So if I sit here in the middle seat is quite raised from the seats on your side, so it is not as comfortable as seats on your side, but still I can do short distance journeys here without an issue. But you will be fighting for foot room since there is a massive transmission tunnel in the middle. So now let's check the practicality here in the rear. So even in the back we get door bins which can store huge bottles like this, so it's really practical. And in the rear we also get net pockets like this, and when there is no middle passenger you can use the middle seat as an armrest like this. So in terms of other features, we get separate air vents even for rear passengers, and we get 4 speakers in the back. So now let's see how this car feels on a twisty road. So I'm going to move it to S mode, and if you want you can also shift gears manually using this gear lever. We don't get paddle shifters in this car. And yeah, so once you put it to S mode, the throttle response increases and the steering wheel becomes a little bit heavy, like slightly. So it corners really well, but the steering feels kind of numb. There's no real feedback. So yeah, is it fun to drive? No, but it's okay because it's not made for that. And you can have a quick blast in this car. It won't be a problem. So now I'm seated in the front of the car, and seats are really comfortable, and you get enough knee room and reasonable headroom. And if you want, you can adjust the knee room and headroom electronically because you have been provided electronic controls, which is very cool. And to tell something about the interior, well, this being an Audi, we expect the interior level to be very good, right? But in this car it kind of feel outdated because perhaps it's because a 10-year-old car, but still we can see some leather parts and silver plates along with some plastic parts. Yeah, interior quality, it's not terrible, but it's not good either. So now let's talk about the steering wheel. So if you want, you can adjust the steering wheel as well, because there's a lever down here and you can put it down, and if you want to make it closer, you can make it closer to you. And so basically you get both tilt and telescopic adjustments. So now let's talk about the storage and practicality. You get door bins which can be used to place a small bottle, and you also get 2 cup holders here in the center console. You get a storage area under the armrest, and you also get a massive glove box. So in terms of practicality, it is really good. So about the infotainment system, it's a very basic infotainment system. So you can only insert CDs and memory cards in this infotainment system. You don't even get Bluetooth connection. So it's really disappointing in a way, but yeah, you'll have to live with that. So in terms of other controls, we get window power buttons here, and all our light controls here, and the wiper settings are here, and we can control our indicators from here. And for this car we get dual zone climate control, so we can have a separate temperature for the driver as well as the passenger, which is very cool. So now let's see how this car feels at highway speeds. Now I'm doing 60 kilometers per hour, and as you can feel, there's not much of an outside noise. So the NVH levels, even at this speed, is quite good. The cabin feels well insulated. The car feels stable when you change lanes, so that's something good. And now I'm doing 60 kilometers, so let's see how long it takes to reach to 70 already. So yeah, so overtaking at highway speed will be a piece of cake with this car, because it has the 2-liter diesel engine with 143 horsepower, and you can enjoy all that torque of 320 Newton meters. This is why I love diesel cars, because you get to enjoy the torque.
So, on the flip side, the interior feels outdated, so does the infotainment system, but still, it's a very good daily driver and a silent cruiser, and we can't forget the fact that it still looks very stylish even after all these years.
So what's my conclusion about this? Well, it's a car that has decent performance and decent fuel economy that also happens to be very practical as well. So if you enjoyed this video, ensure you subscribe, like and share. And if you want to know how much does it cost on a monthly basis to own a car like this, make sure you watch our in-depth financial review as well. See you in the next one.